All right, welcome. This is Smashcenter episode 46. Wow, that Brawl theme still slaps, that's for sure. Anyways, welcome. My name is PG Suar with Panda Global, PG Stats. This is your number one anti-boomer podcast, bringing you the latest in Smash coverage, tournament results, controversies, and more. This weekend, there was actually beaucoup of all the above. If this is your first time watching us, we are, of course, on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube and Twitch all at the same time when it comes to finding us. But if you're seeing us for the first time on YouTube, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button so you get the latest in our updates for either Smashcenter, Panda Global News, or later on when the PGR comes out at the beginning of next year. In any case, if this is Twitch that you're viewing us through, we're going to have the live Q&A at the end. I'm sure you're going to have many questions, so be sure to ask us there what it is that you want to know. And hopefully it'll get a shot at being answered. Tag us, tag me, tag Coney, and we'll read it aloud and try our best. For everybody else, this is Smashcenter. We're going to bring Coney on here in a second. But yeah, this is now the closing of the year. It's November 18th, man. Like, this is happening now. So we're going to go ahead and bring on our favorite co-host, Coney with the mostest, and we're going to see what the heck happened this weekend. So how you doing, Coney?
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. It was a pretty quiet weekend, I feel like, this past one.
There was not.
Obviously two A tiers, but nothing, absolutely huge.
Can you just check your privilege in saying that, by the way?
What do you mean?
Just like 10 years ago, what this weekend would have meant for the scene? A Dreamhack and a Japanese-size tournament. Man, Coney, come on.
I'm so over Dreamhacks now. I'm so privileged, you're right. It's like, Dreamhack, I remember when we found out we were getting it and everybody was mystic, but now I'm just like, it's normal. It's part of our lives. I mean, I guess it was big. It just, I didn't feel it,
Man. All right, well, let's get into these results. Let's talk about the matches, the things that have happened. We're going to cover the beginning of this show, talking about, of course, Dreamhack ATL and Umebura SP7, which happened over the course of this weekend. One happened in Atlanta, the other one happening in Japan. So both sides of the world, hot Smash action, and both of them, like Coney said, A tier. So tell me a little bit about what you heard from Dreamhack that you saw on Twitter or maybe on Twitch.
Yeah, Dreamhack was fun to watch. A lot of the normal people that you expect at this stuff are there. Obviously, Mars, Samsora, Esam, Tweak, although he dropped out a little early, as we'll talk about Dark Wizzy. Really fun to watch. Mars ended up taking it, Samsora second place. I think the Buzz was third, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. But one of the things that was really funny is, so we find out Mars got, I think, 4,500 for first place. And then you find out Brawlhalla's prize was like 30,000. It's just really funny to look at the disparity between the two.
And we've seen this already, so Brawlhalla,
yeah, it's nothing new.
Dev support, Smash, Dev abuse or neglect. Brawlhalla has had prize pots that have already surpassed Smash's entirety, I think 10 or 12 times over.
Yeah.
So if you want to be a Brawlhalla top player and Smash isn't working out for you, there's always that. It is a platformer. But needless to say, congratulations to the top 8. Mars did take it. So I think now between Mars, Sam, Tweak, I want to say Nairo, and who else? Obviously Leo.
Yeah.
It seems like the big 5, the big 4, or maybe the big 6 have all taken like a good A tier, S tier, like pretty decisively too.
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear that we've got sort of how these things are going to kind of shake out in terms of like the best this PGR season. We've got a couple of really consistent players that are consistently like just going above and beyond. So
yes, so this top 8 featured Mars, Sam first and second, to Buzz, Dark Wizzy third and fourth, and then 5th place and 7th place ties Cosmos and Light respectively. So good to see Cosmos doing well. It has been a season, to put it lightly. So I think with Thunder Smash 3, there was like now this uptick for Cosmos and his stock, and of course Light. I mean, can't really keep him out of top 8 ever. Goblin and Wrath, though, I think that's the real piece of the tournament. They both, top 8ing this event. Goblin, of course, Gainesville, or Central Florida, North Florida, whatever you want to call it, Roy, and then Wrath being a Georgia Sonic. Wrath we saw ranked before in Smash 4, and then Goblin ranked for the first time in Ultimate. I didn't get a chance to catch their sets, Coney, but yeah, thoughts on that?
Yeah, Goblin was already up 1-0 on Tweak, I think, as it was. Tweak actually tried going K-Roll and won a game against Goblin, but he could not, unfortunately, make the reverse 3-0 with the King K-Roll. So he lost 3-1 to Goblin, and then the Rat set is its own thing, which I guess we'll get into in a little bit.
Some off-stream nonsense.
It's just more of the same sort of problem that we've seen a million times before, and you kind of discussed them before. But yeah, other than that, I didn't really see much in terms of like huge upsets. But like I said, my eye wasn't like fully on it. I saw Dark Wizzy make it super far in the tournament. Mars looking pretty dominant, if I'm being honest. But yeah, I mean, it just top 3 was sort of expected. Tweak dropping low is not that weird. We know how he does, so
yeah. And what's also something to know is Sonito getting 9th with Sonic as well. Another Georgia Sonic. It used to be Fatality, Wrath, and Sonito running Georgia and Southeast, if I'm not mistaken. So, of course, with a event like Dreamhack being in that region, you're going to get the local heroes coming out. So props to them. We also got Mr. E, Tri-State 13th, and Leon at 13th. So Tri-State was definitely in there. Then Radia, MVD, Larry Lur, and Toast. A youngling? What? Who's Toast? Getting 17th. And then Mechos, Epic Gabriel, Fatality. Rounding out the bottom 17. For everything else, not too surprising. I see some names here like Donquavius, Suarez, Arfang, all 25th. And then apart from that, no one in top 32 looks that out of place. So, yeah, I mean, DreamHack Atlanta, for anybody who just doesn't know the lore, we eventually got DreamHacks, like, I don't know how to really put it, but we just, like, started the whole inclusion of it. And Melee, of course, had been at them for a while. I believe Melee got it before Smash 4. Yeah. And there was, like, a lot of... It was more... I remember it being a European thing, and... I just remember a lot of Armada Leffen and, you know, the Americans going over to play in DreamHack, I think. Is it Sweden or DreamHack?
It was Sweden. It was Stockholm, I think.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
And DreamHack is like, yeah, it's like a cool PAX-esque sort of like, it's a whole party, right? And so when Ultimate got named for it and then Jabali and everybody else started putting those events, it was like a huge deal. The branding, the notoriety can't be understated, but it's also not like a Smash event. So a lot of people have had issues in the past, and we'll talk about it later when it comes to like logistics. So it's not like your 2GG or Geeky Goon Squad, like European like styled curated event. It's really just like, you know, almost like an FGC event. So many different people are present, so many different needs. They are not all catered and seen to as expertly as Smash Only tournaments. But in any case, we also had Japan popping off with another A tier for them this season. Again, I'm saying this over and over, for people who don't know, for people who don't go on Twitter every day for Smash Twitter, Japan and the international community as a whole struggled a lot to get PGR sort of representation from their events, because the American ones are always quote unquote the big ones. But this time, I mean, there's been a huge concentration not only of talent in Japan with PGR players, but also with their numbers. Like, this tournament really, really showed up with 758 people in Japan. So, yeah, we saw the likes, since this is Coney's not specialty. Background, Zachary won the whole thing. Ken making second place, which is... Again, for anybody who doesn't know, Ken was a big deal in Smash 4, best Sonic in the world, and then fell off in Ultimate due to two reasons. One being work-life obligations, and also just Sonic in the meta, right? Finding his place. Obviously, it was a good weekend for Sonic, since Ken, Sonito, and Wrath all did very well. But as a whole, we're not seeing Sonic as a problem. But then Raito with third, T with fourth, T the Link player, not the... Pac-Man player, and then Shootone with fifth, which is another name we're used to seeing. LV1, level 1, maybe, as a Toon Link, Kuro as a Zero Suit in seventh, and then Niatono rounding out that top 8. Other names that you've seen in the top 13, top 16, Hikaru, Shogun, Choco, all ninth, and then Kamame, Su, and Gact at 13th, rounding out top 16. Gact, we've seen before. These names have to be familiar for you at this time, right, Coney? Like,
oh yeah, I mean,
any surprises? I mean, that's crazy to see Ken.
Yeah, Ken getting that high is, I don't know. All the Sonics coming out of the floorboards at the same time is kind of surprising.
Full Moon. Well, they remade the movie, so.
Oh, is that what it is? Everybody's so hyped.
Which, by the way,
Sonic, I think, has been flying under the radar for a while. Like, I think people that have fought a good one know how annoying it is, and everybody else is just like, oh, he doesn't exist anymore. But like, in a game with 70-something characters, some characters are going to be like underground for a very long time, and then they're going to come back. And I think Sonic's one of them.
Yeah. He was a big, well, I wouldn't say big problem, but he was definitely a threat in Smash 4. This game, I know that they made some key changes to how he functions, and I know that, like, Spring Ride and then Spin Dash and all this other stuff really got nerfed. And then also, I don't believe he passes through Shield anymore, which is a huge... Oh, yeah, he does. Okay, I just saw it when he did his Zachary. I don't think he passes through shields as simply as before. Obviously, Smash 4 had the walk-through mechanic as every other Smash game, and Ultimate changed that, for better or worse. Some dash attacks do go through, some special moves still go through, but I think Sonic's like ability to weave is now severely dampened. Yeah. And there's just better characters, it seems. So, pretty good stuff for Zachary. I think it can't be disputed at this point that he's top 10. He's setting pretty with like very nice wins, very nice medals, and also like if we've seen anything, like he's just getting started because we saw a lot of Joker this time around. So if he's gonna vary it up with Rob, like I don't know, it seems like Zachary would be the hardest top player to prepare for at the current moment, based on matchup. Aside from obviously Leo and Tweak, who are like based on raw skill. How would you even study for Zachary, right?
Well, I mean, there's so many different characters that I don't want to say are. It's weird because, like, I feel like when I look at Tweak and the characters he's playing, so whether it's Joker or Pokemon Trainer or whoever else, it's like these characters are like pretty versatile top tiers. Meanwhile, Zachary is playing characters like Game & Watch, who isn't the most versatile. I would say I don't want to call it a one trick, but it's very like, you know what Game & Watch is going to do. So that's a little bit easier to prepare for. But let's say you devote all this time into finding out what you're going to do about this Game & Watch. Oh, actually, I'm going to play Rob. And like, that's its own beast. But again, it's not quite as versatile or as sort of dynamic as something as Joker or Pokemon Trainer. So I feel like his spread is different in a worse way as we understand it now. I don't think that's true, like, objectively, because I feel like that the way he pilots these characters is very different. But I think that the way that we understand Pokemon Trainer and Joker to function is different from the way that we understand sort of Zachary's characters. Now, Zachary does play Joker also, and obviously he has Wolf in his back pocket too. So he does have those characters too, but I mean, I'm just trying to get, like, the first to the guard, the first two people you might fight are Rob and Game & Watch, and that's already a scary lineup because you think you understand how these characters function because maybe you've played some mid-level Game & Watches, at your locals or something. But unless you played Meister, you're not getting the real experience, and I feel like that's sort of his threat,
Yeah, it could be a hot take, or maybe it's just like a ill-advised one, but with Zachary, you always have like the counter pick mentality. You always run the risk of, if Zachary just stayed solo Wolf, right, or if he specialized in just at most two, where would he go? Compared to now, where he's juggling sometimes 4 or 5. I mean, people have made the joke on the top 8 graphics, like putting the Smash Ultimate cover art because he's played so many characters, and we have to stuff in like 4 or 5. Obviously, Zachary's doing well for himself. He can play 16 characters, but it's also just like, where does the decision making hinge on the character choice versus like the set play? But given how like multifaceted he is he making like top 3 by the end of next year? I mean, I think that could potentially be a possibility, and at that point, patches would be a lot less, I think. unless they start the new season pass like right immediately. So I think he'll always be a threat, and he'll always be gatekeeping a lot of people in Japan. And I mean, he did it again by winning this whole thing. So congrats to him. Shout outs to Ken. Other people that were in top 16 that the chat was mentioning. We did get T. Shout outs to T, the Pac-Man player. He did score outside of top 16 at 17th. We also had Coney, the Shulk player, and Shiki, the ZSS, who popped up at EVO Japan previously before. We had Leia at 25th, Abadongo at 25th. Haven't seen him in a while.
It's been a while, yeah.
Umeki at 25th. And then, we had Brood at 33rd, and then everybody else is pretty much falling in line with being top 16 threats at a U.S. major, but a top 33rd threat at a Japan major, which, again, always insane results and insane meta. So, big ups to Zachary. And now we're going to get into the main topic of the show. Good weekend for Smash tournaments, but then also good weekend or bad weekend, depending on which end you were on, for Smash Twitter. Coney opening up first, in keeping with Dreamhack. We talked a lot about it, alluding to it. How did Dreamhack open on Twitter, Coney? How did it even start?
The whole thing. Well, the first thing that happened, I was going to get
the first thing that wasn't even tournament related to.
What happened was, apparently Jabali started off the weekend by saying, quick note, if you're coming into Dreamhack, don't start off by going to registration and saying, I'm the second best player in the world, I don't have to buy a pass.
Which, for everybody who's wondering, he did not say Smash, but within the titles that were at Dreamhack, no other game defines its players so, I guess, specifically as Smash does. And even then, if you think about the second player for either any of the NRS titles, like Sonic Fox, or any of the Street Fighter titles, that just wouldn't be something that would happen, I don't think. So anyways, the story continues.
Well, regardless, he said that, and then Tweak took offense to it because he said he didn't say that, and then it was back and forth.
Who is the number 2 player right now, Tweak?
Yeah, it hit my eye wrong when I first read it, because I was like, that doesn't... Like, I could be wrong.
That ain't Tweak.
Never 100% know people. But I was like, that does not sound like something Tweak would say at all. But I didn't say anything, because like maybe he's not talking about Smash. Maybe, I don't know, maybe he's talking about second best in a different game. I don't know. So anyway, he said that, and then Jabali confirmed that it was a miscommunication with his staff. One of his staff members said that, and then told Jabali, and then it was I cares, who gives a shit. And then they got a picture of Tweak and Jabali smiling together.
It's over.
Saved, I guess. I don't. But that's just to give context to how the weekend started, because then there's more.
That was the tone set for the weekend.
Yeah.
So
that's the first thing.
So that happened, and then Dreamhack, as we said before, it's not a Smash exclusive event, so you're gonna have literally everything, right? I mean, there's also, like, I believe Fortnite was there, so you have obviously crazy esport titles, Rocket League, whatever. I think Melee, was also present, or it was present, but again, it's like all these different events are headlining. It's a whole hodgepodge of things, and so Tweak, I don't know the specifics of the story as much as Coney might, but apparently playing off stream, a lot of top players obviously don't prefer that if the setup isn't up to standard, up to par with at least audio, lagless monitor, not a third-party adapter. But anyways, Coney, do you know what happened off stream to our Tweakerton?
It's the same thing that has happened a million times before. Tweak alleges that the crowd was coaching against him and yelling and being too loud.
The Georgia crowd.
Raz said, nuh-uh, and Tweak said, uh-huh, and Raz said, nuh-uh, and none of us were there. Raz posted a 10-minute video of a 30-minute set, and Tweak said, well, that doesn't show everything, and Raz said, yes, it does. And
how does it show everything if it's literally a third of the match?
I can't bring myself to care about this stuff affecting players.
It's valid, right? I mean, you want to.
Yeah, it's valid, but what the hell are we gonna do about it? This is the same problem we've had forever. Sound on setups is a must. Like if your setup doesn't have sound, you're like that's its own problem. I don't want to talk about that because that's in its own world. Crowds and people being close, it sucks, but like what are we gonna do about it? We've had this problem for literally decades. You saw the thing with Mewtwo King and Ocean. That photo is legendary, right? I'm not saying that's the way it should be. I'm not saying that's like those are the good old days. We should go back to that. I'm not saying any of that. And I'm also not saying, I'm not one of those people that's like, damn, I guess Tweak just can't handle the Georgia crowd. When you come to our house, you better play by our rules. Shut the hell up. That's weird. Don't do that either. It's just, like, we can't fix this. I don't know.
So I think that so Smash tournaments, obviously close quarters, usually any sort of pool progression has people back-to-back, setups back-to-back, and everybody just playing. Usually players that know bring headphones. Not saying that neither did, but in general, people bring headphones just to either listen to something to block out the sound or to plug it into the setup. It has been proposed that there had been some sort of like liner to the setups, kind of like how movies and any sort of line, right, at an event has those dividers that you can, pull the little thing on and clip. But that's event logistics and event staff. And even if they're not there behind you, they're still yelling. There had been before, coaching obviously being banned at most events, allegedly. Tweak was saying that Wrath was getting coaching, but then starts the whole discussion of what is coaching, right? So is it in the ear whispering sweet nothings, or is it being in the crowd saying, don't jump? And it's like, now that person coached this player, they read my habit. Like, you know what I mean? This is weird.
The problem is that we've got two different things that are often when shit like this happens, people start moving goalposts because it's like Tweak is saying people are coaching, and then Wrath says people weren't coaching, they were just being loud. And then people will say, well, maybe they shouldn't be so loud. And then it's like, that's a different discussion. I don't think coaching should be a thing. There's no way you can police an audience. There's literally no way. Like there's no way in a world like Smash, unless you want to go full MLG. MLG used to have that. For MLG in the Brawl days, we had the ropes. We had setups that were a distance away from the entire crowd. Like, there was a clear separation of players and spectators, but I don't think we're going to go back to that because, again, that's a logistics thing. That's a money thing.
Yeah.
And people are already averse to raising that for pretty much any reason. Coaching, obviously, I think as a community, a lot of people have said that they are against it. It's always a debate that people kind of go back and forth on because some people think it promotes skill, some people, whatever, it's a debate. But I don't think anybody can really feasibly say, like, yeah, these people should exist in a bubble. We should get these giant domes over them, like in StarCraft, and nobody should be able to hear. Like, you just got to invest in really good headphones. And I know it sucks because a lot of people are like, well, it's so loud, you can hear it through the headphones. I don't know what to tell you. Like, that, you can't fix that. That's just, that's the world,
Yeah, so unfortunately, Tweak forfeited the set. Wrath advances. That's a win on him.
Oh, I didn't know he forfeited the set.
Or sorry, not forfeited, lost the set.
Okay,
I was going to say, like, not gave up, but, like, it kind of turned into, this situation where obviously that's playing in his mind, and that can chip away. But, again, it's the bigger you get, the bigger target you get on your back. Zero chimed in, said similarly, like, he faced pretty much the same in all of Smash 4. Nothing was done about it. And then it's just like who the TO likes and this, that, and the other. Then it gets a little bit, not conspiracy theory-y, but more so, I mean, it is systemic, but it's also like people are at a crowd watching an event. You see the big guy losing. Like, that's going to draw a hype. So don't really know what to say in this situation, apart from what's already been mentioned. And in the future,
I would argue that it may even. You said it's not systemic, but part of me wonders if it is just by the inherent nature.
No, it is systemic. Like I was saying,
this whole esports thing, because like the TO wants the big guy to lose. especially if it's on stream, the TL wants Zero to lose. The TL wants Leo to lose to his local guy. If he knows the local guy and he's friends with him, that's great. Even if he's not, that's a clip, and that's going to be shared all over the place. Those are VODs.
Yeah,
that's exposure. So, like, I'm not saying that that's factoring in here, and I don't mean to make any indication that, like, people are bringing that into account. But you really are incentivized to, like, these people with targets on their backs, these big players,
Pit
have more at stake than they realize.
In top 32.
Right. Yeah. I mean, so, like, that used to happen a lot more. I don't know if it still happens. I don't want to sort of. That's a lot of I think it does, but I don't want to speculate. But like, it used to happen that people would fix brackets in certain ways, so certain matchups did happen.
Eye emoji.
You think it still happens?
I just said eye emoji.
Okay. I don't know anything about it. I'm not close to the TOs. I stay in my commentary lane, but that's just me.
So, to progress on this before we get to Q&A and the other tweets that you fire, I think it was said best on Twitter related to some of this, and it's that Smash right now undeniably has like two, or at least I mostly agree with it, two competing, diverging, I guess, like peak forms that are in play. There's the grassroots, like, homie side, where, you know, you get these events, you get to like play and like open bracket, we're chilling, we get to meet Tweak, we get to like hang out with Cosmos, whatever. Then there's the esports-ification, like super heavy duty summit style, like there is a class distinction and you're going for a totally different thing, right? And both of them require that the other be at a minimum if they are to be enjoyed at the fullest. And I thought that was a very good point, because in this situation, right, for the content that comes out of Dreamhack, it's gold, right? Tweak loses, Wrath wins, big thing for Southeast, blah, blah, blah. If you're Tweak, though, Dreamhack Atlanta 2020 is not happening, right? Like, you're not going to go unless there's a guaranteed change in logistics that says you're not going to get heckled by way of a completely isolated setup, right?
Yeah.
Then on the other hand, like, you want to have these big open brackets and have everybody like join in together and have the nobody become a somebody. But then again, like, top players and everybody else, like, well, there's no money in that, so I'm not going to join. So keep that in mind as things go on. But as the topic continues with Twitter fingers, then the other parts of Smash Twitter, I feel like this happens in cycles. Doing this show weekly, it's almost like this is lunar. Okay, this is Mercury in retrograde. But anyways, enough about Dreamhack. Well, I guess still related to it, but on Twitter, ESAM goes on and essentially starts what we know as beef. And the Smash community, like most vegans, cannot handle beef. And so what happened here was ESAM gave a general opinion on Peach being an undeniable top tier in Smash, yada yada yada. Sam, most notable Peach player in the galaxy, fires back, telling ESAM he can't make top 8 with his broken character Pikachu, which people agree has probably the least amount of losing matchups, and calls him a skillless player, at which point then it now resulted in some blocking. There was some fans on both sides waging war. And now it's Monday night, and people have forgotten, but both accounts are blocked. Take Coney. What did we decide?
Sometimes people don't like each other. Like, you can't. Okay, here's the thing. I'll be very brief. I watched Samsora and Nairo fight, and it's like play fighting in his jokes. I watched Samsora and ESAM fight, and it seems like it's play fighting in his jokes. But then I think ESAM might be a little bit more sensitive or something. I don't know. It's not my, I don't know and I don't care because it's not my business. And it's not yours either. And I see a lot of people that are on Twitter, they're like, oh, you guys are two of my favorite players. Can't you guys kiss and make up? Shut the hell up. They're two people. Like, it's not everybody in the whole world is going to like each other at all time. Like, not everybody is going to vibe with each other. It's fine. It's not a big deal. And on top of that, if ESAM is known to be sort of an emotional guy, which he is, it's all going to blow over and he'll be fine. I think there are certain people in the world that have to... I feel like and I feel this deeply. I feel like there are people in the world that express their emotions freely and just sort of quickly because they're not afraid to. They're okay with putting it out there. And then there are also people in the world that hold stuff in unless it really affects them. So then you've got this weird thing where some people perceive this to be a big deal because in their mind, the way that they operate, they only talk about something if it's a big deal. I think people are putting that on Esam. Esam doesn't really care. He's blowing up because it's on his mind right now. But this whole thing, I know this is a show where we're supposed to care. I cannot bring myself to do it. I simply cannot. This is silly.
People are dying. Wi-Fi's still bad. You know, there's bigger things that are happening.
There are bigger problems.
And
Mars won $4,000 for winning Dreamhack, and Sandstorm won $32,000. Let's talk about that instead, please.
Who?
Sandstorm, baby.
Oh, Sandstorm.
Pennsylvania Ryu player. He popped.
32, so median salary for like literally. Wow. Okay. Well, to end the Twitter fingers bit, then there was another personality that went online, and in the spirit of last week, Pokemon was released. Twitter user Coney here says, "Watch some Sword and Shield streams, and I'm glad people seem to like it, but I just don't get."
I don't get it, bro.
Pokemon, and then here it was just all out, man.
I don't get it, dude. I was up at night at like 1 a.m. watching Shofu, and Shofu is in a boss fight in a rock arena. It's like a concert. And there's a guy with a microphone singing into the microphone, like yelling and singing, and there's no sound. It's just the normal theme. And I'm like, what the hell is going on here? There's no voice. There's not even like there's not even Simlish. There's nothing. And then he comes out, he's like, all right, let's battle. Shofu kills him in one hit each. One Pokemon wiped his whole team just with a one hit. I was like, what do people see in this? Now, to be fair, I'm being a little silly. I'm being a little facetious. That would be like me stopping into a World of Light stream and being like, why do people like Smash Brothers? I get that's not the point, but I've been watching Pokemon. I played Red and Blue, and I was like, oh, this is cool. And then I kind of grew out of it. And I've never understood it.
Then you went to middle school.
Yeah, and then I went to middle school. And it's weird because like I watch games so I can understand, and like 99% of games I'm like, oh, I get why people would like that. You know, I get it. I understand how it functions. I try to understand, even if I personally don't like a game. Like, I don't like Zelda games, but I get why people do.
Sure.
I don't get Pokemon. I simply don't. I cannot. But you know what's crazy? As this is happening, my wife woke up next to me. She said, oh, what are you watching? I'm like, oh, this is Pokemon. It just came out. She was like, I want that. So there we go.
That's the target demographic, actually.
There it is. And I was like, why? She was like,
they're cute.
Cute. Yeah, that actually is. Like, it's cute. I like the Pokemon. I was like, okay, that's nice.
Yeah, so I think that, okay, like Pokemon is literally one of the most powerful IPs in the universe, and it's a nostalgia thing, guys. Like the base game at the end of the day has not changed since Red and Blue. You go, you get the 8 badges or 16 or whatever the hell they want to throw at you. Then you face your rival intermittently, who is really your best friend, but then really your rival. And then there's an Elite Four, some sort of amalgamation of people who are tough at the end. And then you start running around in circles growing an egg.
Coney is not still giving the Pokemon Company his money. Coney hasn't bought a Pokemon game since Red in 1999. So I don't want to hear that. Yeah. And I didn't buy it because I was 12. My mom bought it for me. Actually, I was 10.
Okay, boomer.
So there.
So it's like Toy Story 1, 2, 3, and 4. Like, they have progressed with us as an age. And, like, people who grow up today, like, trying to convince them about Pokemon can be tough. I mean, it is, like, it's injected into the culture, right? Like, Pokemon's literally, you cannot go a block in New York and not see some artifact of Pokemon, whether the logo or a Pikachu, etc. The movies are successful, the trading card game, but it's just what it is. So Coney went to Twitter fired back. Try to not have discussions on Twitter if you can avoid it.
No, I actually really like it, and it was funny because like nobody was like, sometimes I'll give an opinion in an incendiary way. Like, I'll mean to piss people off. This one, I was being genuine. I was like, I really don't get it. When I talk about Nier Automata, I get why people like it. I personally don't, but I get why people do. So I want to rile those fans up because a lot of them are dorks. But with Pokemon, it's like a lot of them are children. I don't want to rile up children. I want them to have a good time and enjoy their fun game with cute animals. You know, that's fine. It's just not for me. That's all.
All right, so putting it into that, thank you, Coney. Not riling children up. That is always the goal of Smash Center. Not riling important. Children.
Don't wake the babies.
For the kids. But now, opening up the Q&A, this is your shot. This is your time. This is your moment to have your question asked to the masses, as Coney and I try to decipher your poor grammar, your terrible Twitch username.
Oh, Ninja Pie, you're right. Yeah, I am going to be buying it for my wife. They got me. You're right, actually. Thank you. You're absolutely right. They got my money. You're right.
Sometimes it be your own. So tag us in the Twitch chat. We're gonna open up the Q&A now and see what the people are thinking. It was a mellow week, says Coney, even though there were 2 A tiers literally for the season. Literally, Mars could be inching into top 3 just from this alone, or is there now? And Coney thinks it was a soft week. I don't know. I'm just talking. Okay, I'm switching scenes. But anyways, tag us with your questions, and here we're going to start with another. So, JM_O_N_E_Y. I think he tried to do Jane Money. This is clever.
Yeah, I think so too.
He said, I think that's what he was doing. He said, Panda Global, who's your top 5 players you like watching? Mine are Dabuz, Mars, Scat, Kamame, and Void. What an interesting motley crew.
Dabuz at first. Omega laugh.
Dabuz at first.
Omega laugh.
Okay, no shots to Dabuz, but anyways, go on. Who's your top 5?
Top 5 is
Mango.
I like Mars. Not my like. These aren't my top 5 like in order.
Unordered. Okay, being safe. Unordered. Here we go.
Unordered. Mars, Tweak, Light. I really like Yeti.
Okay.
Yeti's really fun to watch.
Midwest pick.
Probably Samsora also. I mean, like, here's the thing. Like, it feels weird just picking top 10 people, but, like, the way that they play is clearly at sort of a level above, and it's like, I don't know how to describe it. Every set that I watch between these guys, it's potentially the best set I've ever seen. You know what I mean? Like, at Summit, I genuinely felt that. At EVO, I genuinely felt that when I watched Layover's Tweak at EVO, when I watched Samsora Leo at Summit. Like, I'm legitimately watching the world change in front of me. It's really...
All right.
I'm serious. It's really cool. Because, like, if you asked me in other games, I would say, like, off-the-wall picks. Because, like, the people that are winning in Smash 4 Zero... Leo, Bayonetta's to me mistake, whatever. It's like I would probably pick less conventional picks. Maybe like I wouldn't say this, but maybe Fatality would be up there for a lot of people.
Oh, it was fun. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't feel that way about this game.
Not changing the meta right now, so.
Well, not just that, but the good characters are really fun for me to watch now. You know what I mean? It's a different world.
Yeah, I'd say Mars, Leo, Sam, Lay, and Zachary. Zachary because he plays like an amiibo. But anyways, continuing on. Thank you, Jay. M_O_N_E_Y. That was a great question. Another one coming to us from I'll
give you a quick one.
Go.
Accelerate says, by the way, hi Accelerate. If you're MDVA Accelerate, you used to be a Sonic player. I came to Brawl Stuff. Hello.
Oh, Accelerate because he plays Sonic. That's so clever.
Pretty good. If it's the same guy, I don't know. It's spelled it the same. I don't really enjoy doubles as a side event. Do you think Squad Strike would ever replace it? I think it's going to be half and half. Because I do feel like the sort of enthusiasm for doubles is kind of going down. But I think some events are going to choose to do Squad Strike. Some events are going to choose to do doubles.
Bro, I'm anti-doubles there. Like, I don't...
Really?
I'm anti-doubles. I'll go on record. I'm anti-doubles. I do not care. I do not want to see it. There's no storylines. There's no dynamicism. This game is impossible to watch with doubles. I'm a simple-minded, single-celled organism. I do not have interest. Squad Strike, though. I like it. That's cool.
A lot of the commentators hate Squad Strike. I can tell you that.
Why? You get to commentate 6 times the characters. Like 3 times, 2 times. Wait,
that's how I feel. I really like Squad Strike personally, but Leffen put it well in that like he doesn't enjoy Squad Strike, but he understands why people do because it's like if somebody's locked into a character, what you're watching is 3 stocks of sort of adaptation, highest level play. These guys are really sort of figuring each other out. When you watch Squad Strike, there's a lot more. It sort of emphasizes it as a different skill set, because you don't have 3 stocks to figure out what the other guy's doing. If the other guy's Ridley and he hits you with skewer into forward smash, you better figure that out now. But you only have to figure it out 1 stock. But like it really can put on display like the one gimmick of a character that maybe you've never seen or never have sort of encountered.
Yeah.
I can tell you a lot of my fellow commentators, like I said, they don't really like it. I like it personally. I don't know if I like it more than doubles. I like commentating it a lot more than doubles. I can tell you that commentators also don't like commentating doubles.
Nobody does. Nobody likes. There's nothing positive to say about doubles except for literally whatever PewFat says. Yeah. Like there isn't even like a Void and a Cat team anymore, and that was like the only real team to really. I mean, there's Dark Wizzy and Salem, and Dark Wizzy, like, please take what I'm saying not seriously, but the event format is just not sustainable in an open bracket environment.
If we had static teams, I think it'd be way better. But as of right now, it's hard to care.
It's an entirely different event, and it would mean an entirely different structure that isn't present right now. So, next question. This is one that you'll really like, and I'll go ahead and read it. It's from Evil Rock, or Evil Iraq. Panda Global, who is your favorite Smash YouTuber? Coney, you go first.
As a person?
No, as an animal.
As a person, here's the thing. I don't watch Smash on YouTube.
This is why I love this question.
Yeah, it's not for me. It's not for. I assume it's not for you either. Smash YouTubers are.
Say it.
No. It's just appealing to a different crowd, and it's not me. Like, it's nothing wrong with that. It's just like, so the people. I love Alpharad. I love Gimmer. I like Gimmer's videos the best, I think, because they hit that sort of intersection between like
ASMR and Smash content.
Yeah, Gimmer's appeal to me the most specifically, just because they're, obviously in our wheelhouse. But Alpharad makes really great stuff. That's why he's popular. I love Little Z. He's an Australian YouTuber that I got to meet. Yeah, I love that guy.
SoundCloud rapper?
He's amazing. Little Z is killer. You should check out his YouTube. He's really funny. I haven't watched many of his YouTube videos because, like I said, I'm not that guy. But I really like the guy. Mighty Keith is funny as hell. Like, I love all the YouTubers as people in terms of their content. It's just not for me. And that's not, like, again, that's not a knock on any of these guys.
That's
it's just
so
like,
many knocks.
They're just different. They're different.
So you're gonna hate me for this one, but my Smash content creator that I like a lot is actually Sakurai. His let's plays are very fun and engaging. Actually,
when he made us watch Terry Classic Mode for 30 minutes.
That is content I'm willing to subscribe to. But no, in all seriousness, yeah, I mean, Coney pretty much took the words out of my mouth. Smash content's not for me. I like Smash content from YouTubers that aren't even trying to be Smash tubers. So, like,
yes, yep,
kind of like Practical Task does, or some of the others, like, who can jump over the beam sword. I don't know. Like, whatever, right? So that stuff is fun to watch. And it's also just, like, cool because it's like, I wanted to know that, but I'm not going to do it. So I'm going to watch this for 34 minutes in bed before I go to sleep and cry.
I was actually going to take it in a different direction. I like watching other YouTubers make videos about Smash to see what they know and sort of what an outside perspective is on. So, like, the Score Esports makes, like, player profiles, and stuff like that. They make really good content. And every once in a while, they'll have Smash stuff. And it's interesting to me to see sort of what an outsider thinks of this, sort of what we're doing. The problem that Smash content lives at, the problem with it I see, is that the same reason that there aren't many Smash podcasts, and there aren't many Smash, like, high-level analysis, competitive kind of, like, the competitive scene is way smaller than you think, and most people want to just watch top 10 Ganondorf disrespects, top 5 saltiest moments.
Top 5 kill me.
Yeah, like, people don't want like a 10-minute video analysis on
Wizzy versus Salem.
Yeah, people say they want that, but they really don't. I guess the closest thing are Izaw's videos, which I hear are amazing. Again, I don't really watch them, but I hear a lot of people like what he's putting down, and I respect him for doing it, because like that stuff's a lot of work, but he makes art of X character, and it sort of breaks down the character. I really respect and value what these guys are doing, but I feel like the easy sort of way to get big doing this stuff and Smash content is to just sort of appeal to the widest, like cast the widest net, which is a very casual crowd. They're big on character reveals, they're big on reactions. Alpha Rat has really sort of gotten that market, and he's very good at sort of addressing it. So it's like that's sort of where your bread is buttered, if that's what you want to go into. And again, that's just, I'm not that guy, because I talk about Smash, as a side hustle. So it's like, I have a lot more understanding than a lot of those people. That's all.
Yeah, so I think that ties that up. Another question we got, I'm going to take two more. You can choose the one after this one, but this one I think is relevant. Prastal asks, Panda Global, which character is the worst to commentate in your opinion?
Oh, God.
God, I need to look at the character select screen.
Ultimate character. Yeah, I gotta see it. Worst to commentate? For me personally? Oh my god, the character. Jesus Christ. Okay. I'm
gonna say Shulk. Mostly because I'm gonna get so much heat. I think it's honestly whichever Discord is the most insufferable.
Well, every Discord has. There was I love watching Wario. Wario is one of my favorite characters to watch. And once I said that Wario gets beat by Rob, this was in Smash 4. I was like, Wario gets beat by Rob, but if Wario can get in, he can really mess up Rob's day. And then one of the Wario players went apoplectic. Like, he lost his stuff because he couldn't believe that I gave any leeway to Wario in that. Did
he know that you were, like, best brawl Wario in the world?
I was not the best brawl Wario, but thank you. I was a second. I was like top 50, but thank you. Top 50 Wario on the East Coast.
And the zip code.
Yeah, I was. The Wario was strictly a Band-Aid, and it wasn't great. But no, it's just he's a good Wario player, but like every Discord's gonna have idiots like that like don't understand, like, commentators are not speaking to them. You know what I mean?
Commentators are people too.
Well, better people, but yeah, people.
Sure.
I don't know who I would. I don't know, dude. I like commentating everybody.
Sure about that?
Right now, like I'm looking at the list. The one that jumps out to me is Luigi. Because
you don't like commentating Luigi?
I don't think so, because when I watch Luigi, like, what's interesting as a commentator is sort of seeing things unfold in new ways, seeing how people adapt, and as Luigi, if you're at 0, there's no question what Luigi's gonna do. You know what I mean? Luigi is so sort of like laser focused on one thing. And I think a lot of the people that people would sort of throw out, like Olimar, Snake, people that are perceived as boring, I actually really like watching those characters. I think they're really interesting.
Yeah, there isn't really like any bad characters to watch, which kind of means that there aren't very many bad characters to commentate. I know that in Tri-State, a classic was John Numbers and Sinji with Wii Fit and Pac-Man, and that's like hard to commentate because it was like such a campy match, but Pac-Man pops off, bro. Have you seen T?
Oh yeah, people hate Pac-Man. I love watching Pac-Man. Actually, I do have an answer. Now that I'm looking at it. I really don't like commentating Palutena unless it's Nairo.
Ooh.
Mid-level Palutena is
yikes,
a terror. Yeah. Because and this is, I shouldn't say these things.
You shouldn't say these things. Ask the next question.
Okay. All right. All right. Let me see.
I think my vote is Lucas because I don't like him.
You don't like Lucas?
I don't know, whatever.
I love Lucas. Lucas rules, bro. Come on.
Actually, Lucas is hype. I was just joking. I was just
we have so many
feeding into the narrative.
We have so many other questions, dude. I can't even.
Choose one that we can answer in a minute.
Well, I'm trying to find fast ones. So here we go. The Hunter this does not count as the question because I'm answering this fast. The Hunter HDO says, any players that you think have or will break into top 50 this PGRU that were not present last one? We talk about this every week.
Me.
And the answers are pretty much always the same. Somebody like Meister, who wasn't on it before, will probably be on. Somebody like Frozen, who barely got on before, will be off. I think I don't want to go down the whole list because we're going to forget a lot of people, but I think a lot of people have had sort of runs that are indicative of them finally making it. Larry is one of them. He had a few big wins, including Mars at Thunder. So,
top
we'll see.
48 to 50 material, I think Larry.
Top 48 to 50. Yeah. I think that...
Yeah, and then also Japan will probably sprinkle in some people no one knew about because these A tiers are popping up, bro. You can't ignore them. You can't just make room for your C tiers. So, yeah. In any case, that'll wrap it up. Q&A. You behaved yourselves today.
Let's do one more. I said that would be fast. Come on. Sorry, I'm looking. How about you guys ask a good question? All these questions suck. You guys are bad viewers.
Okay, please stop. We don't have that.
Here we go. We talk about this most weeks, but I'll end it on this. Sibons said, if Joker goes unchanged, do you foresee more top players switching to him or picking him up as a secondary? So this is another thing that we talk about a couple of weeks in a row. So the analogy that we made the past weeks is that, like, if Tweak picking up Joker is like a sign of the end times, and like there's a doomsday clock, and midnight means that our game is dead because Joker took it over. Tweak picking up Joker is like 11:20, 11:30.
Oh, 11:20, 11:30. That's funny.
Yeah, we're so far off. Like it's you need a lot more stuff for Joker to really take over like that.
And mind you, Smash 4 started at like 11:59, 10 seconds. Yep.
Yeah, it started off.
Diddy, chic.
And the problem is, for every time they would patch it, and they're like, "Oh, Diddy's gone." 11:58. Oh wait, Luigi. 11:59 again. Like. It was just like, it kept wavering. And every time you think you would fix it, another thing would happen. So
nothing's really happening like that anymore, bro.
No.
Yeah, Joker is just so far from being a problem. Plus, you're not even seeing it at the mid-level. You're not even seeing locals get blown up by him. Bayo was blowing up, like, literally dormitories and Dreamhacks. Like,
yeah, if you guys are, like... I'm sure Joker is, like, terrorizing college game rooms in some places. But if you guys have ever been to a local, you guys know that there's at least 3 people at your local right now that switched to Joker that have gone up no placings. They're still getting the same. Like, you know what I'm talking about. And I feel like Joker is sort of... He's not an easy out for anybody.
Definitely not. Yeah, I think that's a good spot to end it because, like, as the seasons progressed and we've seen all these results, even the top 8 graphics aren't showing them. Like, you're not even seeing it in other regions necessarily. Like, Mars won, right? Zero Suit, a lot of variety, and then Zachary won with Joker. So, Sonics are now popping off. Like, what's happening? Like, it's not Joker. Not Joker season, not yet. But in any case, Coney, where can we find you? What we doing? You're going to be the next Pokemon tuber. What's going on?
You can find me on Twitch and Twitter, Coney. You guys know what's up.
What are you playing?
I don't know. So last night I was playing this Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order game. I don't think I'm going to be streaming it again because it's kind of boring as a stream game. It's fun to play, but it's not very fun to watch. So I think I'm going to be doing something else. Thursday I'm looking at this really awful horror game. Those are always fun. Just really crappy.
Name?
It's called Song of Horror.
Wow. Okay. Damn.
Yeah, it looks really bad.
What a title.
I love that stuff. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. My next... I always want to say what I'm going to next for Smash, but I think I'm not doing anything. Wait, there's a new Gangsta Sniper?
What?
Hold on, no way.
I need to block you.
Gangsta Sniper is that's my game. Yeah, so I don't know what my next Smash event is.
Genesis.
I haven't gotten the invite. I assume I've been at the last 3 or 4, but I don't want to be unprofessional. I might be going to Genesis.
Unprofessional.
I don't want to be like, yeah, I'm definitely going to Genesis, and then I don't get invited, and then they look. You know what I mean?
I heard unprofessional, which is just not a word, but
that's not what I said. So
my fault.
I went to college.
Anyways, thank you, Coney. We're gonna leave you now. See you next time.
Damn, Gangsta Sniper is out. All right, I'm playing this Thursday. Goodbye.
Alright, so there you have it. That's Coney playing Gangster Sniper. Literally never heard of that in my life. For everybody else, thank you. Thank you so much. My throat sounds like a garbage disposal underneath water. It's that season, so please take your flu shots and don't drink from public water fountains. I think that's how a lot of movies started that had zombies in it from an outbreak. But in any case, thank you. Episode 46 has now come to a close. 2 A-tiers happen. This weekend, I think things are slated to be a little bit chiller. There's Players Ball in Tri-State, as well as a European event called VCA Vienna Challengers. So keep an eye out for those. Both of those are ranking in the CB range. So good Smash to watch. Apart from that, I think the one that everybody is paying attention to is going to be Conga Saga. That is an S tier already, and it's happening at the pretty much height of the season, now coming to a close in December. So we've announced the dates. The 15th is the last date, I believe, for Ultimate, and we're going to start rolling things out at the beginning of January for the PGR. If any of those dates are wrong, it's because I misread it. But in any case, yeah, we only got about a month or less for anybody to shift up, anybody to break into the scene, and for conspiracy theories to start as to why I didn't put your favorite player, me specifically, because I make the whole thing, you know how it goes. PGR season, I can't wait for it, I love it. But for everybody else, tell someone you love them. See you next time, episode 47. No special guest this time, which I saw people asking about. We had Slime, we had Leo. Those were 2 people, alright? Relax, okay? We're trying to do 1 special guest every 10 episodes, so now it might be every 5. Someone you want to see, name them, tag me, DM me, maybe we can get them on the show. Somehow we can get people to agree to be on this, so we'll see how it plays out. In any case, see ya, love ya, and next week. See ya Monday.